Okay, good morning. Good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
So, last class we have discussed about artificial kidney. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Uh, so, which factors reduce the activities of kidneys? Have you gone through that video or not? Very less number of
Yes, sir.
students have gone through the
Infection,
video.
injury,
Hmm?
restricted blood flow.
Good. Infections, injury, restricted blood flow. They actually reduce the activities of kidneys. When
Yes.
activities of the kidney is reduced, what it will happen? When activities of kidney,
Sir, poisonous wastes in body can accumulate.
yes,
Can get
good, very
accumulated.
good. Poisonous wastes get accumulated,
Sir,
right?
nitrogen waste will remain in body, sir.
Yes, sir. And the accumulation of
Blockage will
poisonous
take place.
wastes, what it will result? It may even result in death also, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, in case of kidney failure, what can be used? Artificial kidney can be used. So, what is artificial kidney? Artificial kidney is a device to remove nitrogenous waste products from the blood through dialysis. So, what is artificial kidney? Artificial kidney is a device that is used to remove nitrogenous wastes by dialysis. Right. Artificial kidney is a device that is used to remove nitrogenous wastes by dialysis. Can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me. Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What does an artificial kidney contain? What does an artificial kidney contain?
Tubes. Tubes, sir.
Many number of tubes with what?
Semi-permeable membrane.
Yes, semi-permeable
Semi-permeable.
lining. Semi-permeable lining. And these tubes are suspended in what? These tubes are suspended in a tank
Dialysis.
filled with dialyzing fluid. And what is the difference between the dialyzing fluid and our blood? And what is the similarity between dialyzing fluid and our blood? What is the similarity between dialyzing fluid and our blood? Both will have the same osmotic pressure, right?
Osmotic.
So, osmotic pressure of the patient's blood should be similar to the dialyzing fluid. Sorry, actually to speak, you need to maintain same osmotic pressure in dialyzing fluid to that of the patient's blood. And what is the difference between patient's blood and dialyzing fluid? Patient's blood contain nitrogenous wastes, whereas dialyzing fluid it doesn't contain. So that when blood is allowed to pass through these tubes, automatically nitrogenous wastes will be moving out from the blood into dialyzing fluid, because dialyzing fluid is not containing any nitrogenous wastes. Obviously the concentration of nitrogenous wastes in dialyzing fluid is 0, whereas in blood it will be some higher concentration. So by means of diffusion process, a substance will move from its higher concentration to lower concentration. You have already learned in class 9th itself. That is what diffusion. So nitrogenous wastes will move from blood to the dialyzing fluid, right? And you should get one question here. I am expecting it. What question that you are supposed to ask here? Can anyone ask?
What is the dialytic fluid, sir? What does it compose of?
That is not also important thing here. Your conceptual question must be asked here. Even actually, what it is composed of, that composition and all, I didn't go through it. You can just search in that. I asked, I gave a hint to you. When blood is flown through the tubes, which are just suspended in the tank filled with dialysing fluid. Dialysing fluid is having same osmotic pressure with that of blood, but it is not having nitrogenous wastes, right? So when blood is passed through these tubes, since dialysing fluid is not having any nitrogenous wastes are there already in the blood. Concentration of nitrogenous wastes in dialysing fluid is 0, and there is some concentration of nitrogenous wastes in the blood. So something is better than always 0. So from higher to 0, nitrogenous wastes will be coming out through the semi-permeable lining of the tubes. Is that clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So the doubt that has to be asked
Yes,
by
sir.
you is, okay, are you getting the doubt or not? Until what particular time the movement of the substance takes place from one area to another area? Tell me.
Until both have same properties.
Right, good. So nitrogenous wastes, for example, assume that they are 10 in the blood. Okay, in dialysing fluid that is nil. So once 5 have gone to dialysing fluid, will there be further movement? Will there be further movement of nitrogenous wastes from blood to dialysing fluid?
No, sir.
Right now. So that means by this process of dialysis, okay, our complete nitrogenous wastes are going to be filtered out from the blood if you are allowing it to
No,
pass
sir. No, sir.
to pass through. So dialysis, then what is the solution? Can anyone tell?
Again, we should refill with another.
Yes, dialysing fluid has to be changed, right? Okay, dialysing fluid has to be changed again once, but still this process cannot remove complete nitrogenous wastes like your normal kidney. Okay, right? And one more
Sir,
difference.
I had another doubt, sir.
Ask.
Sir, then kidneys also seem.
No, kidneys are different. I'll tell you. Someone is telling that I have another doubt. What is the doubt? Ask.
Sir, if blood passes through dialytic fluid, sir,
Okay.
and when it comes back into the other tube, sir,
Uh,
after getting purified, does dialytic fluid also get entered into our blood vessels?
No. Dialysing, see, the fluid can enter from one area to another area provided there is osmotic difference. While explaining about transportation plants, in phloem especially, in phloem transport, the sucrose solution will move from higher osmotic pressure to lower osmotic pressure, I told. Did you remember?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here same osmotic pressure is there. Are you getting it? Same osmotic pressure is there. So there is no chance of movement of the liquid from either blood to dialysing fluid or from dialysing fluid to blood. Is your doubt clear? Right? And fluid can move only through the pipe, not through the semi-permeable lining. And substances, molecules, they can move through the semi-permeable lining provided if there is concentration difference. Here there is concentration difference of nitrogenous wastes between blood and dialysing fluid. In blood there is higher concentration of nitrogenous wastes. In dialysing fluid there is 0 concentration of nitrogenous wastes. So through the semi-permeable lining of the tubes, the nitrogenous wastes are coming out and entering into the dialysing fluid until in both the blood and dialysing fluid the concentration of nitrogenous wastes becomes equal. After that there will not be any net movement of nitrogenous wastes from blood to dialysing fluid. Then what should happen? Dialysing fluid, the tank has to be filled with new dialysing fluid, because otherwise complete filtration of this nitrogenous wastes is not going to take place. Are you getting my point? Okay. And one more difference here in dialysis is, in the case of normal kidney purification, filtration, I told you total 3 processes are there in urine formation by kidneys. What are they? What are the 3 processes that are involved in urine formation? by kidneys?
Filtration, reabsorption, secretion.
Very good. Filtration, reabsorption, and secretion.
Reabsorption, secretion.
So here filtration is there. Means nitrogenous wastes, blood is getting filtered from this nitrogenous wastes, but there is no reabsorption process. There is no reabsorption process. Only nitrogenous wastes are coming out. Remaining substances are not at all coming out. Are you getting it? Okay. And this is the another difference. Whatever it may be, when compared to the normal natural kidney, the artificial kidney is not 100% efficient. Always natural kidneys are better than artificial kidney. That's why the patients who are in whom the kidneys become fail in their function, okay, even though they are going for dialysis process regularly, they may not survive for longer periods. Okay, sooner very soon they may die, because the accumulation of nitrogenous wastes keeps taking place in their body, that just spoils the functioning of other organs also, because same blood with the nitrogenous wastes, it will be moving from here and there to all other organs. So multi-organ failure may take place little later time, and they will die. Okay, so we need to keep our kidneys healthier, right? Okay, is that clear to all of you?
Sir, what happens during secretion process?
Come again.
What happens during secretion process, sir?
Secretion means after reabsorption is over, remaining concentrated nitrogenous wastes containing filtrate, it will be just entering into the collecting duct. From all the collecting duct, okay, at the starting of the kidney, the ureter will be there, into that the urine will be just entering, and through ureters it will be reaching to the urinary bladder. That already I told you.
Yes.
Okay, right. I have to make some of you as co-host. Who are ready to be co-host?
Can I ask?
Name? Who is that one who is ready for to be co-host, so that those who are coming late,
5400.
tell your name. 5400.
Yes, sir.
Gothe. Okay. Make co-host. Right. So you can admit if anyone is coming, because some people are just sending messages by WhatsApp. I will switch off all the apps while taking class. Right.
Yes, sir.
So I will not be knowing who is asking. If you are knowing through your friends, you can admit them. Hope so you are attending the all classes, because very less number of students
Yes,
are attending the classes. Right. In a normal healthy adult, how many liters of initial filtrate is prepared? In a normal healthy adult.
180, sir.
Huh? 180 liters. Then what is the normal volume of final amount of urine per day? 1 to 2 liters. What is the reason behind? Okay, though 180 liters of initial filtrate is formed, why only 1 or 2 liters of urine is released out? Because of which process? Because of which process?
Reabsorption.
Reabsorption, sir.
Very good. Okay, now coming to organ donation. Donor, recipient, transplant, graft. You all might be, might have heard of organ donation, right? What is organ donation? Simple definition: donating an organ to a person that suffers from the non-functioning of that particular organ. If like just now we have discussed about kidney failure. If in a person both the kidneys fail in their functioning, then instead of going for dialysis throughout the life, if the person is given a functional kidney donated to his body, then he can survive better than with the dialysis process. But we can give anything very easily. money, assets, or say food or any other thing we can donate. But giving our organs to other persons, there must be higher level of generosity. So you can add the word generous act of donating an organ. Okay, what is organ donation? Simply write generous act of donating an organ to a person who suffers from the non-functioning of organ. So organ donation can be done by anybody, irrespective of the age, gender. Only the thing is the person should be, the donating organ should be healthy in condition, right? Generally, organ donation like kidney or part of liver or some other things, okay, they can be given to other persons when the person is alive. Means one person can donate his kidney when he is already alive, his brain is functioning, everything. Means out of both kidneys, one kidney can be donated, a part of liver can be donated, bone marrow can be donated. Means some parts they can be donated when the person is alive itself, when the donor is alive itself. But some other parts like heart, okay, and both the kidneys, not one kidney, okay, and eyes, like these parts, they can be donated only after the person's death or when the person is declared brain dead by the doctors. Okay, so which organs can be donated by the donor when the donor is alive? One kidney, a part of liver, a part of lung, or a part of bone marrow, these type of things. Which type of organs can be donated? Only after the demise or the death or the brain death condition of the donor, both eyes, both kidneys, okay, complete liver or heart, especially heart. Okay, these type of organs can be donated only after the death, immediately after the death of the person or when the person is declared as brain dead. Okay, right? The organ or tissue which is placed in the patient's body from the donor is known as transplant. Okay, what is transplant? Okay, transplant. What is transplant? The donated organ, okay, or an organ that is placed in the recipient body. The organ which is placed in the recipient body from the donor is known as transplant or graft. Why it is called graft? Can anyone tell? Students, are you listening?
Graft means to make a slanting cut, sir.
Where you might have come across this graft word actually?
Sir, graft means to introduce a new stem to a plant.
Good, very good. In hybridization of plants, okay, in order to
Graft means to put a branch in a slanting order, sir, and then place it on the soil again to grow by itself. It happens in some plants, sir.
Not compulsory like a slanting. Graft can be done in different ways. See, what you are telling, a plant is taken, okay, on which in this way, a slanting way, another plant part can be added and both are tied. This is one type of grafting. And there is another type of grafting. Okay, a plant is cut like this and it can be added like this also, right? So graft means what I think Abhiram has told, right? Plant, I mean a new plant that is joined with another plant, okay, that area, a plant part which is joined with another plant in order to make a better variety of that particular plant species. That is what called graft. So means other plant's part is added to another plant. Here another person's organ is added to patient's body. So it is called graft. If in the case of plants there is no immune system, so it will be directly accepted and new variety can be grown from that addition of graft. Whereas in the case of human beings, we have got immune system. Immune system fights against a foreign thing. The role of immune system is fighting against the foreign thing. It knows what is self, what is non-self. Are you getting it? So until and unless there is tissue matching, that is genetic matching, if graft is placed, a transplant is placed in a patient's body, the immediate reaction that the patient has to face is graft rejection. Graft rejection means if a kidney is placed in a patient's body, assume that. If there is no matching of that kidney donor and the patient, then the immune system of the patient will start rejecting it. Means it will send all the immune cells there, and the graft or the donated kidney in the patient's body, it will get spoiled. So if there is no other go other than placing some kidney in the patient's body, even though tissue matching has not taken place, in that case the transplant will be placed in the patient's body. Then immunosuppressive drugs will be given. What they will make? They will make not the organ is accepted by the immune system. Instead, the immune system will become silent towards that organ. Got my point? Have you understood? Immune system, it
Yes.
gets suppressed and graft rejection will not occur. But if immune system is suppressed, will there be any side effects? Will there be any side effects?
Sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. If
Because
any
immune
other
system
disease
only
is
is
trying to
protecting us
occur.
from
Even
many
a slight
bacterial
food would be
viral
very
diseases.
dangerous for the
Yes.
patient.
Yes. So the patient need to depend on many drugs only until the lifetime. Otherwise, if immunosuppressive drugs are not used, the graft will be rejected and the patient will die. If immunosuppressive drugs are used, other bacterial viral diseases are going to take place in the patient's body. Then the patient will suffer with all those diseases. So this is what the problems that have to be faced by the patients. Okay. So how organ transplantation, organ donation can be done? In organ transplantation can be done in which method generally? Organ transplantation can be done in which method? Can you simply open the body with your hand and keep the organ? No, no. So organ transplantation can be
surgery.
done only by surgical method. Okay. So common transplanted organs include cornea, kidneys, heart, liver, pancreas, lungs, intestines, and bone marrow. Right. Generally, organ donation is carried out, as I already said, after the death of a person. After the death of the donor, or after the declaration by the doctors that the donor is brain dead. The organs like kidney, part of liver, lung, and bone marrow, and the skin like things can be donated by a living donor, not a brain dead donor or not a dead donor. Right? This is about organ donation. So actually organ donation is a newly added syllabus in
Sir,
your
can-
chapter and compared to last year.
Sir,
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 ask.
can brain be donated, sir?
I don't think so. Brain can be donated like that. I have never heard and I have never learnt also. Okay, anyhow, I will look into that aspect. You also try and search in the Google. Okay, because that point is new to me. As far as I know, I have never come across brain donation. Right? Anyhow, let us see. Both of us will learn. Next, excretion in plants. Excretion in plants. Do plants have any excretory system like how humans have? No. Okay. And what are the excretory products in plants? In the case of photosynthesis, oxygen is waste. In the case of respiration, CO2 is waste. And excess water that is getting pyrated by the atmosphere. What is that pyration of water? What is pyration of water in plants?
Transpiration.
Very good.
Transpiration, sir.
Transpiration. Okay. Transpiration. But we study it as transpiration. Am I correct? But if you just break the word, it will become transpiration. Now, have you got any idea about this process actually? When the word is broken? What is the meaning of trans?
Yes.
Other. Pyration means?
Stealings.
Stealing. Yes. Who is stealing what? And from whom?
Atmospheric pressures is stealing water from plants.
Very good. So, from plant body to other area, water is getting pyrated. You getting it? So, that other area is, okay, from the body of the plant to other area, water is getting pyrated. That's why it is called transpiration. But as a definition, what do we learn? What is transpiration? What is transpiration? Your biological definition. Loss of water from plant body in the form of water vapor through stomata of the leaves. Right? So, oxygen is waste in photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is waste in respiration, water is waste, excess water is waste. So, how oxygen and carbon dioxide will go away from the plant body, which are waste? By normal diffusion process. How? Why normal diffusion process? Plants are also complex living organisms. Na? How in plants, by normal diffusion process, this carbon dioxide and oxygen can just enter into atmosphere. Can anyone tell?
Sir, because plant leaves are directly exposed to environment.
Okay, leaves.
It's
What about
no-
remaining body?
Through some pores, sir.
Okay, through pores. But inside body? Inside the plant body?
Xylem, phloem, there is no this.
Okay, okay. Don't get too much burdened. Right. In plant tissues, the cells are loosely arranged. Intercellular spaces are large. Other than in sclerenchymatous tissue, remaining all tissues, the cells are loosely arranged and intercellular spaces are very much present, through which air can escape easily. And on like how in stomata, in the leaves stomata are present, on the stem also small tiny pores are there. Tiny pores are there, right? Even in the roots also tiny pores are there. Pores are very common throughout the plant body, through which air can make its way. And through the intercellular spaces, all cells are going to coming across with the air or with the atmospheric air. Are you getting it? So in that way, by means of diffusion only, the gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide can enter in can leave. Okay, right. And other waste materials, they will be moving when the leaves get shed off. Means in the old leaves and all, some other metabolic waste materials, they get stored. And these old leaves, we all know, by heavy winds or during autumn season, the leaves will get shed off. When the leaves getting shed off, automatically the wastes that are present, they are going away from the plant body. And roots are the parts that are directly in contact with the soil. Already you have learned. Soil contacting region in the plant body is root. Am I correct? Which region of the plant body is in direct contact with soil? Roots. So through roots also some substances will be just going away. And some of the waste materials, they are stored in vacuoles of the plants, right? And when you cut the neem, okay, have you ever seen when you cut the stem of a neem, some liquid will be coming out, which we use as gum. Have you seen it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We should
So,
remove cork of that stem,
yes,
sir.
yes, correct, right? It is because some waste products are stored in the form of resins and gums in old xylem of the plants. Are you getting it? Not only from neem, in many plants, when you cut it in the form of xylem, resins and gums, these waste materials are stored, right? And for what purpose they are used? These waste, these materials, when any animal, herbivorous animal, when it tries to eat the stem, automatically these are not good in taste, or they may be bitter in taste, okay, and they may be giving some side effects to the animals also. So that it is like they will be acting like a defensing mechanism in order to protect their plant body, right? Whereas we humans, we use those resins and gums also for our commercial purpose, because we are the most idiots, right? Next, plants excrete some of the wastes into the surrounding soil. Already I told you, right? Okay. Next, with this the chapter is completely finished. Let us move to the questions. Describe the structure and function of nephrons. So when this question is asked, you are supposed to draw the diagram of nephron. Compulsorily, you need to draw the Bowman's capsule, proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule, right? Collecting duct. So this is how you will draw it. Simple diagram only. You need to just struggle. Here. So what is this? This part. What is this part? Bowman's capsule.
Sir, your video is stopped, sir.
Oh, sorry, very sorry. So what is this part? This part is Bowman's capsule. And what is this part? Tuft of
Glomerulus.
capillaries. Cluster of capillaries, right? So which is called glomerulus. And what is this one portion? PCT means proximal convoluted tubule. And what is this portion? DCT, distal convoluted tubule.
DCT.
And this one, loop of Henle. And this one, collecting duct. Right? So this is the structure of nephron and functioning of nephron. At glomerulus, in the Bowman's capsule, filtration takes place. The initial filtrate, that is 180 liters in a day, it will be going through the PCT, loop of Henle, DCT, all these things. During this process, what will happen? And surrounding this PCT, DCT, what are present? What are
Blood
present?
capillaries.
Many blood capillaries are present, right? And what they are called? Vasa recta. So by means of reabsorption, the amount of, excess amount of water, glucose, amino acids, proteins, all these things will be reabsorbed. About 178 liters will be reabsorbed, 178 to 179 liters. Remaining 1 or 2 liters will be secreted out as urine. That is the functioning of nephron. Next, what are the methods used by plants to get rid of excreted product? Just now we have discussed. I just don't want to discuss once again. How is the amount of urine produced regulated? How is the amount of urine produced is regulated? What decides the amount of urine? The amount of excess water present in the body and the amount of dissolved waste that has to be excreted out. Okay, the amount of excess water present in the body and how much amount of dissolved waste is there to be excreted out. These two things are going to decide the what? How much amount of urine has to be produced. Have you understood? Right. Okay. Next, exercises. Chapter and exercises are there. Okay. Up to 4th question, multiple choice questions are there. Are all of you having textbooks with you? At least soft copy of the textbooks?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the first
Yes,
question?
sir.
What is the first question? Chapter and question. The kidneys in humans are part of the system for very easy
Excretion.
excretion. C. Option C.
Excretion system, sir.
Yes. The xylem in plants responsible for transport of water. That is option
Water.
Yeah, option A. Next, the autotrophic mode of nutrition requires A. CO2 and water, carbon dioxide and water, B. chlorophyll, C. sunlight, D. all. The answer is all.
All, sir.
Yes. Fourth question, the breakdown of pyruvate to give carbon dioxide, water and energy takes place in which part? The breakdown of
Cytoplasm.
Sir, in cytoplasm.
Mitochondria.
Cytoplasm. sir.
Breakdown of glucose to pyruvate takes
Sir,
place
in
cytoplasm.
cytoplasm of the cell.
Hey? What is the question? Read out the fourth question.
Cytoplasm.
Read out the fourth question. What is the fourth question? Can anyone read out?
The breakdown of pyruvate to give carbon dioxide, water, and energy takes place in
Options? What are the options?
cytoplasm, chloroplast, mitochondria. Yes.
Fourth one, D is
Sir,
what?
it is
Sir,
mitochondria.
cytoplasm is the answer.
Cytoplasm is wrong answer.
Mitochondria, sir, in cytoplasm.
Cytoplasm is
Pyruvate
wrong
by
answer.
pyruvate.
Mitochondria.
Yes, mitochondria.
Mitochondria.
In cytoplasm, what is taking place? The
Mitochondria.
breakdown of glucose into two pyruvate molecules takes place in cytoplasm. Right? So, pyruvate
Yes, sir.
breakdown to give CO2, water and energy takes place in mitochondria. Okay, don't get confused. Right? And remember, all of your
Sir,
exams
but,
are going to be conducted in MCQ method. You need to be very, very sharp. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes your knowledge, your own knowledge also confuse you if you are not confident enough. So be thorough with the subject. Writing comprehensive answers is very easy, whereas writing multiple choice answers is a bit difficult. Okay? Right. Next, fifth question. How are fats digested in our bodies? Emulsification by bile salts occur in intestines. Where does this process take place? In small intestine, right? And after that, after emulsification, which lipase is going to act? Pancreatic lipase and intestinal lipase both will act and complete the digestion of fats, right? What is the role of saliva in digestion of our food? The role of saliva in digestion of our food is to digest the starch in
Sir,
the
it helps in
digestion of
digestion of
starch.
To observe
carbohydrates.
starch.
To digestion of the starch in the
Salivary amylase.
yes. Saliva contains salivary amylase, and the salivary amylase or ptyalin digest the starch into its monosaccharides in oral cavity, right? What are the necessary conditions for autotrophic nutrition and what are its byproducts? Necessary conditions are already we have discussed in the what's the third question. Okay, sunlight, chlorophyll,
Sunlight and chlorophyll.
CO2 and water.
Carbon dioxide, sir.
Byproducts are carbon dioxide, byproduct.
Oxygen.
Oxygen and water are the byproducts. Oxygen and water are the byproducts, right? Is water is there as a byproduct or not?
Yes, sir.
It is there, sir.
Reaction with it.
What is the equation for photosynthesis? Can anyone tell?
Sir, C6H12O6 plus CO2 plus water.
No. You have to give
No,
complete equation. 6CO2 plus
C6H12O6
12H2O.
plus CO2 plus H2O in the presence of sunlight and
No.
chlorophyll.
I asked the
Yes, sir.
equation of photosynthesis. 6CO2 plus 12H2O gives,
Plus
okay, C6H12O6 plus 6O2 and 6H2O, right?
Balanced equation.
Yeah, balanced equation. Then only you will be getting the byproducts. Otherwise, you will be getting confused. Okay. I may be asking the same question in the multiple choice form.
C6H12O6 plus 6CO2 plus 12H2O
Baba,
gives
why are you getting confused? These are the reactants.
It is wrong, sir. First, sir.
Sir, 6CO2 plus 12H2O gives C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus 6H2.
Can you see the board?
Yes, sir.
Now just check out what are the byproducts. Okay. What are the byproducts now? Oxygen and